Good day, everyone. Today we present our work titled Values Education 930 Item Summative Test prepared by BVE 311 and BVE 312. For our planning process, we began with a meeting where we divided the task between the two sections. BVE 311 focused on finalizing the summative test while BVE 312 finalized the table of specifications. Section 312 checked the alignment of the TOS with the learning competencies and reviewed the item distribution. Meanwhile, Section 311 finalized the test by checking the clarity of questions and instructions. After that, we administered the test items at the school and collected grade 9 responses. And finally, we created the spreadsheet to compute the item difficulty and discrimination.
By carefully analyzing the four quarters of grade 9 in Edukasyon Pagpapakatao, the team narrowed down the LCs fitted to the domains that elicit values to be developed. The cognitive domain that ensures objective knowledge distribution, affective domain that encourages relevance to the student's reality, and psychomotor that applies opportunity for students to develop a guided actions. Next, in cognitive domain, there are four topics took from quarter 1, one topic in quarter 2 and 4, and two topics from quarter 3. Only one item is made that align in each DLC. It is categorized using Bloom's taxonomy. Overall, there is two items in remembering, five items in understanding, and one item in analyzing. A total number of eight items made for cognitive domain. Now, let's move on to the distribution of affective domain.
For the affective domain, we use Cratwell's taxonomy to determine how each competency builds attitudes and values. We examine the objectives and identified whether they fall under receiving, responding, or valuing based on the verbs that shows levels of internalization. We then place each item according to the expected learner behavior, like awareness, active participation, or a value commitment. This ensures alignment with values to be developed, such as self awareness, empathy, moral responsibility, environmental care, cultural respect, or nationalism. Through this process, our TOS clearly reflects the gradual development of positive values of learners.
We also made sure that the items can be measured clearly through our selected response assessment. Each situation in the test shows a value related challenge, and learners choose the option that best reflects the expected attitude or behavior. By doing this, our affected TLS stays practical and aligned with the values we want students to develop. Next, it will discuss the psychomotor domain.
So the psychomotor domain table of specification shows how we assess the students based on their hands-on and performance skills. So this includes different levels such as perception, set, guided response, mechanism, complex overt response, adaptation, and origination. So the numbers in the table that is shown below indicates which skills each topic focuses on. So as you can see, we mainly focused on the mechanism level. So that means our test items mainly focus on the accuracy of the students' performance skills. So you will see in the table below that we've also included some other levels such as set, guided response, and origination. So overall, this TOS ensures that students not only understand different concepts, but they can also do and demonstrate them effectively.
So this is the final look of our 30-item test, and it is in multiple choice situational assessment that presents real-life scenarios requiring students to choose the most appropriate response, and it also measures how well learners apply their knowledge, values, and decision-making skills in practical situations. Now, for the implementation,
For the implementation, the first step that we took was to write a formal letter expressing our intention to conduct pilot testing at our chosen school, which was Batasan Hills National High School. After that, we went to the school to submit our letter to Dr. Bermundo, the head teacher of ESP, and she granted us permission to proceed with the pilot testing. She assigned us to one of the ESP teachers handling grade 9 calcium to administer our test. We gave a brief introduction explaining the purpose of the test and assured the students that their information would be used solely for academic purposes only. The test ran for 30 minutes and all students were able to complete it and answer all the questions.
For the technical aspect, I was tasked to create and format our spreadsheet to ensure efficiency in computing item difficulty and discrimination. It was a challenging experience, yet it was also enjoyable. It showed how creating even one well designed question requires tons of effort to ensure its effectiveness.
So for the item difficulty showed how easy or hard a question is based on how many students got it right. Higher means easy, lower means hard. So for the items 1 to 10, most of them range from easy to right difficult, but they show weak discrimination, meaning they do not clearly distinguish between high and low student. Many students got these items correct, especially those in the upper group. So it means the items are generally too easy. Their discrimination values are considered non-discriminating, so they do not measure differences in ability well. Only item 6 showed good discrimination, meaning it clearly separates higher performing learners. Meanwhile, item 3 is questionable or problematic because it has negative discrimination, showing that low performing student answered it correctly more often. So this item needs urgent revision. Overall, items 1 to 10 needs major revisions or improvement because most of them are too easy or do not discriminate well, except for item 6. So for the items 11 to 20,
So, moreover, items 11 to 20 show a mix of easy and like difficult question, but many still have low discrimination and do not clearly separate the upper and lower groups. Item 11 to 17 mostly have values which are still non-discriminating and may need improvement in clarity or difficulty balance. Items 18 and 19 stand out with having with having a good discrimination, making them highly effective. Item 20 is difficult but only moderately discriminating. Overall, items 11 to 20 have strong items like 18 and 19, but most still need revision due to low discrimination and unbalanced difficulty. So for 21 to 30,
So for item 21 to 30, most of items, specifically items 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, and 29, are marked revised. So this means that those items either turned out too easy, too difficult, or non-discriminating. This means that the students from both high and low groups performed almost the same, so these questions do not clearly shows who truly understand the lesson. On the other hand, items 21, 26, and 30 are marked retained. These items have higher discrimination values and a better balance in difficulty. High performing students answered them correctly more often than the lower performing students. This difference shows that these items are effective and distinguishing levels of understanding.
So developing a summative assessment was more challenging than we expected. We had to go through each learning competency carefully and choose the ones that really aligned with the values to be developed. At first, it was difficult because we need to fully understand every competency, but eventually the process became easier. One of our biggest challenges was the late processing of our grants letter, which delayed our search for a school to pilot test our items. Despite these issues, our group supported one another, and worked together to accomplish our task. Overall, this experience taught us a lot from creating a table of specification to analyzing test items and collaborating effectively. This lesson will definitely guide us in our practice teaching and future careers as educators. And that is all for our presentation. Thank you so much for listening.